What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back to the next part of the walkthrough, episode 25. To start, we're going to run through some side quest stuff. Just in case you hadn't already done it, we can talk to Fia now. And you'll remember that Fia had some dialogue that you could get a hug and talk in secret. So we're going to go ahead and do that. She's going to make some mention of the Black Knife and the Black Knife Catacombs, which of course we've already done that.
Would you like
but
now?
Just to go through it all, we're going to go ahead and get a hug. A long hug animation. And then once you're in the hug, you'll get the blessing, of course. And then we have Do You Know? And you're just going to run through this.
And the ancient black knives wielded by along with these grand affairs. But dear, in truth, about the black knife prince that fast. Perhaps, dear Roger, the ancient, the black knight, along with. Then good day to you, my dear.
And we already got the knife, so it's like you don't have to do this. This is more just getting y'all some extra lore. Of course, go over here. You don't want that health debuff, so go ahead and just pop that Old Darky and Blessing right now. Get it out of the way. And then we're going to go over here and talk to Roger.
Always so. I can scarcely recall our. They say the group.
We're going to burn through all of his dialogue.
Though own traces of the half my body. Deal with he discussed centipede. As long as who and we may be able. If only I could spend. If they were.
And we're going to also talk to D.
You know, he was a don't let his no more. You see him like he's take well. That's how you when grace is. I said I might following those who live merits, and so it is.
Of course, we should have access to those from doing the Death Guy stuff already. At this point, we're basically we've advanced their quest line. There's nothing else we need to worry about. But we did get a death route earlier. So with that death route, we're going to head on over here to the Beastial Sanctum. Now, this part might be a little bit tricky. When we turn in this death route, he's going to aggro. You don't need to beat him. You just gotta like get enough damage in that he decides to stop. So we're just gonna hand in all of our death routes that we have: Beast Roar, Bestial Vitality, Bestial Sling. The next one after this, I believe, is the Bestial Claw, which is a really fun incantation. But we go ahead and rest. And here he's all pissed off now. And we just need to get a little bit of damage in. We don't gotta like, you know, he's gonna mess our shit up, as you can see. Which is why I said if you're not feeling confident, don't even worry about doing this. Oh god, I don't have my stomp on, bro. No, I thought I had frostbite stomp. Well, I made a terrible mistake. As long as I rest at the grace as soon as I respawn, I can fix this issue. Okay, Ash of War. And if you can't kill him right now, you don't need to kill him, but if you can't beat him right now, don't worry about it. You can leave and come back later. So there we go. We just needed one good frostbite. So you can see, like, yeah, he's super deadly, but we don't need to actually, like, kill him. We just need to calm him down. So, you know, once again, just something to keep in mind. If you're, I mean, you saw how hard he was hitting me. If you don't think you're going to be able to do that little bit of damage, just don't worry about it. You can turn these in at any time, really. So, you know, it's not a concern if you can't do that right now. But anyway, so we've done that. Let's go ahead and rest at the Site of Grace. We'll reset things. And you can see now he's back to being normal. But from here, we are going to travel, and we're going to go over to the Church of Inhibition again. And I might as well spend my runes. I think I have enough for a level up. Yes, I do. Let's get strength up to 30. Heh, 69. From here, we're just heading straight south. I'm not going to mark anything on the map yet, because we're just literally going to be going south. So, just head south. Where's a good drop down? See, none of these are a good drop down. I'll go over here and drop down. Actually, this looks like I might survive it. There we go. I would run away from these things. These are flowers, but they're going to cause a lot of frenzy. Which is coincidentally exactly what we're going into. If you're not feeling confident about this, don't worry about it. These are one of those little grave sites where we're just going to be running around grabbing some runes, so nothing here is needed. If you aren't feeling good about the, dealing with the army of frenzy, and you're probably going to get frenzied being here, as you can see. I'm already in combat, so I can't make any anti-frenzy. If we go away a little bit, it should go back to like a normal attack and stop its pollination. Alright, that's all we were getting from there. From there, we're going to continue south a little bit more. Here, our shiny ball friend. This looks a little like death if I make the jump. No, over here it's not as steep. Nope, just as steep. I'm gonna go to the Site of Grace as opposed to the other place I might not be able to get back to my runes. But there's a Grace right down there, and that's exactly what we're trying to get to. It's gotta hop down. I should have just used a thing. I put some of them on. I'm usually pretty good about guessing where I need to fall to survive gravity-wise. Should be a spot. It's not exactly easy to see at night either. Ooh. Yeah, what was it? 'Cause I remember there was a spot that I actually like jumped down onto. It was another tower. Not like a tower, but like a an outcropping. Let's just try it right here. We'll do one of the stones just to see. Okay, so we're good here. Yeah, like I said, it's a little bit iffy right here, because there's some spots you can get down and others you can't. There's a shiny over here that should have a sombering too. Now we're just gonna head east a little bit, kind of more southeast. There's one mausoleum, here's another, and right around here should be a Grace, right by these statues. Alright, Alright, so as always, with the mausoleums, I would suggest just marking them up. You know, there's really no point in doing the mausoleum until you actually need it, so we're just going to put 2 markers on the map. So this is going to be really good for later, because we got 3 mausoleums right here. But from this grace, we're going to head southwest. Scroll my notes a little bit. Okay, head southwest around the cliff for the Horn Charm, and then we're going to go to like right around here-ish, and then we're going to go southwest into the forest for some stuff by a big old bear, and then back to the grace, and we're going to go southeast for a shield that's like right around here-ish. So, marked up our 3 spots. Once again, now you can do the mausoleums if you want right now. You know, these are pretty standard ones. You just run and you knock the shit off its legs, but we don't have any remembrances that I am particularly interested in copying at the moment. I mean, honestly, up to this point in the game, the only remembrance that I think we even have that's worth copying would be Renala's, and that would be only for mage builds. Mage builds might want to copy Renala's, just so they can get access to both the staff and the moon. So Stalwart, Horn Charm, that'll boost your resistances to, is it, I believe, bleed and frost. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna run towards 2. There's a big old bear here. We're not worried about fighting him. We're just gonna grab a couple loots. Where are my leaves at? I think I ran a little ways past them. Should be right here. There's a bear. He's guarding some arteria leaves. There he is. I'm just gonna grab this. Don't mind me, buddy. There we go. Which, I mean, they're a crafting material, but they are kind of rare, so whatever. We'll grab them. At this point, we're heading back to the Grace. Ow! We're just kind of heading up north, getting over towards that way. If you're not in combat, you can, of course, fast travel, but... Okay. Go ahead and mark that. And I'm actually going to make it morning, just so it's a little bit easier to see while we're running around. No, actually, you know what? It's looking good right now. So we're gonna go southeast for the shield. Just kind of run along and drop into the water. Some Trinia's lilies. Go, Spiral Horn Shield. Really nice small shield. It's going to increase your resistance to like pretty much everything. So if we swap to it, you can see resistances across the board are going up. You can also put whatever you want on it. So it's a good shield to have spell parry on. Just go this way. Kind of heading southeast, continuing along, and this is the Grace. There's a Grace that's right here that I'm overlooking. Where are you? There you are. Alright. So we got the Ruined Labyrinth Grace. This area has some of the ancestral hunters. We're going to be tackling them in an upcoming zone, and they are pretty terrifying. These things can do a lot of damage. Their actual health pools aren't that crazy, but let me just show you why they're a threat. Alright, well, that's the normal one. We need the enchanted one. Some of them have enchanted arrows, and man, those things hurt. Come on, use the enchanted bow. Why are you not using the enchanted bow? Alright, well, it looks like we're lucking out right now. They don't want to use the enchanted bow. But there are archers among them who will fire these enchanted magical hit scan arrows that seemingly home in on you. I mean, they don't home in on you, they shoot straight, but it feels like they home in on you because they almost never miss. And they do a lot of damage, so not a big fan of those guys. But anyway, from this grace, we're just going to head southeast again. And right here, we have a Frenzy Flamestone. And then that's basically it. You can run down here real fast just to grab up some resin. I mean, resin's always useful to have. We'll snag that up. Next, we're going to warp away from here. There's a couple guys here, but there's no other items, so, you know, running around here is just giving you a feel for that. But instead, we're going to head on over to the Church of Vows. So, you should have gotten this grace a long time ago. Obviously, this is where we turn in all of our casting stuff. A reminder, there's a guy that can invade here at night. And once again, we're just going to be heading southeast. So, you know, not even really needing to mark for this. Just run past the graveyard, keep going southeast. And right over the hill, you can see there's like a little encampment. We're going to be heading there next. That looks like a gravity fall. Let's go this way to get down. There we go. Maybe? Oh, yeah, that's good. I mean, I know I could drop the stone every time to check a fall, but that's just tedious to me. I'd rather just drop, you know? And that's the thing. And when you're first starting, yeah, you might want to use your little stones, but especially long term, you want to be comfortable enough with being able to eye up whether a drop is going to be fatal or not. Because you don't want to have to dismount constantly and be like, okay, let me test this drop. Okay, let me test this drop. That gets tedious. I mean, you're going to be playing this game for over 100 hours. No one wants to have to dismount their horse that much just to check something. Flame Cleanse Me, really, really useful utility. It's going to remove poison. It's going to remove rot. After that, we kill this lone caster to get a sorcery. Briars of Sin. Pretty cool blood sorcery that requires faith. I don't know. It's alright. I wish they were cooler. Let's see. From that, standalone lady, and we're going to go northeast for a grace. Should be like right around here. And then we're going to head on over all the way up to there. Now the blood, there's a blood one. I think that's the spiral blood. Let me see. It's a different blood spell we get later. Spiral of Bloodthorns. So yeah, this one AoE is up around you and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and you're hurting yourself a little bit with it. And then there's one that we get later on that will leave a trail of thorns that'll run on over towards a target and then explode up on top of them. That one's decent. The one we just picked up, I don't think it's very good. But you know, if you really want to be a blood mage, go for it. Enjoy the whopping 2 spells the game gave us. Though to be honest, I have a feeling, just based on the type of spells we have, I really think we're going to see some DLC that either has like a big emphasis on blood and possibly a big emphasis on frenzy. Because frenzy, we have a lot of different spells, but we only have 1 frenzy weapon. Technically 2 if you consider a shield a weapon, but those are the only pieces of equipment I know of that apply frenzy. There's a shield we get much later and the spear we just picked up. Besides that, you know, there's nothing else out there, which feels a little bit weird, you know? And then on the front of blood, like, yeah, you have a couple of blood incantations, but for the most part, they're not that strong. Like, you have 4 different blood spells, one of them of which is Blood Flame Blade, which we have the buff. There we go. Grab that stonework key. Yeah, so we got that. We have one that's terrible, one that comes from a boss, and then the Swarm of Flies, which we already grabbed. We can just run past this thing. There's also a bear here. I wouldn't suggest trying to fight them both at the same time. We're going to be going down this structure. There's a big elevator. Heading to an underground zone. But yeah, so I hope we see some more blood sorceries and blood incantations in a DLC, and I hope we see more madness stuff. I think we... Oh, by the way, just activate this elevator. And then did we ever visit it? we did get soy for Riverwell. We briefly visited that place. This is another one of the Riverwells, and this is probably going to be our focus of the next episode. We're going to knock out this Riverwell, we're going to knock out the other Riverwell, and then after that, I'm finally taking y'all to Caelid. AKA Australia, but Dark Souls. So for now, we're just running into here. We're just grabbing this grace. This way we can just save our time later on the elevator. So get that grace, and then make sure you tab to go back to the overmap. And we are going to the Artist Shack. Now from here, we're gonna run right over around here. Could have hit this area up earlier. This is known as Jarburg, but there's, you know, there's nothing you really need to do there. We're just grabbing some items. This place it'll have a purpose much later. Later on, this is part of Alexander the Great Jar's questline. We have to come here and do some stuff. But that's not for quite some time. So we're really just coming here now to grab a grace. And it is a nice little place to farm for certain consumable stuff. So, I gotta find it. Where is it at? Here we go. Definitely a very, very well tucked away spot. Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. I fell. Are we good? Oh, no, please. Ah, damn it. Missed that jump. If I had managed to get on that tombstone, we would have been good. Which in retrospect, it probably would have made more sense to bring y'all to Jarburg early, because we would have had more cracked pots and more fire pots to use for the Carian Manor, but I mean, I think we tackled the handsies pretty well, you know, we just kind of zipped on through that area, didn't really worry too much about it. Which actually reminds me, I want to say, I didn't cover it, it's like, where's it at? I remember running through here in my first playthrough and getting ambushed by a handsie while trying to grab an item. I don't remember if we actually did that or not. Now I'm curious, I'll have to check on my own, see where it's at, and then add that into another episode. Okay, and once you get down to this one, jump on off to the roof. Go ahead and get the grace. We can go south for some more of those, more sarcophaguses, just, you know, runes to have on hand. Right, and there's a couple things in Jarburg that we're gonna grab. Let's see, 3 cracked pots, 2 ritual pots, and then we're going to head over to the study hall. So this area is loaded up on consumable stuff. You can also go ahead and take these guys out if you want. Some poison bloom, Michaela's lily. For the most part, I tend to ignore the little ones and I just go for the bigger ones. One of our cracked pots, but you can see there's just tons of stuff. Erd tree flowers, tarnished golden sunflowers, gray violet. You know, Eye of your log, all kinds of goodies that we can pick up here. And this is stuff that's, I think this is all respawnable as well. I'm not 100% on that, but usually field stuff like this tends to respawn, so I don't see why it wouldn't. Another cracked pot. Another cracked pot. A living jar shard. Another one on top of this roof. Right, I believe we picked up 2 ritual and 3 cracked. Wasn't really paying attention. Let me check my inventory and see. Yeah, probably, considering I have 7 and 3 total. That sounds about right. You can kill the little ones if you want. It doesn't matter. This isn't going to mess up Alexander's quest. We just, you know, these things can attack, so... Grab your stuff. After that, we are going to head over here. So you can start from either Eastern Liurnia or Eastern Tableland. Doesn't matter. And this is the last place we will do this episode, which is the Studyhall. Now this place actually has some significance later on. After we complete a certain portion of the Ronnie questline, we actually come here and we invert the study hall, and when we invert it, we then have to navigate it while it's upside down, and that will get us up top, which will then take us to the Divine Tower, which will then give us an item we need for one of the special hidden non-trophy endings. But you have to go through it, you know, you go through it now, and then you go through it again later, so... I think this is one of the more annoying places in the game, but you'll see why in a second. So get the grace. After that, just gonna head on in and take the elevator. I'd highly suggest that you have Carian Retaliation, or just, you know, doesn't matter if it's Great Turtle, but you're gonna want a shield with spell parry for this area, because it gets really obnoxious. You'll see why in just a moment. So go ahead and grab this. And these guys are going to summon up. We're not worried about them. I recommend just ignoring them. But as we run on up, there is an invader dude who's going to show up. And you're going to get major Sage in the Archive type vibes from this guy. And there he goes. And this is the fun part. This guy will run away multiple times while you're in here. This is why I like a spell parry. This is also why I say you just ignore the other shit for now. Just focus on going after this clown. Alright, so at this point, he is gone. We have a small break. If you wanted to kill stuff, now is a good time. Most of them, I don't know, they usually group up a bit better, but whatever. I mean, you don't have to. You're not really getting much out of them. As you can see, 2 of them is a whopping 300-ish runes, so... I would just ignore him. The big thing here is chasing down Invader Bro. So that gives us the Carian Glintstone Staff. Decent staff, not... I mean, honestly, mages, you already have access to the best staff in the game. Use it. now we get to chase down this little shitter. And he's just gonna keep teleporting like this. Just be careful of your stamina. God, I hate this guy so much, dude. You can climb up top and get a drop on him, but I find that to be almost more of a pain in the ass, just because he's shooting all that shit at you while he's running. There we go. Look at him teleporting away even though he's dead. Look at teleported all the way over to here. Three separate teleports on the verge of death. Pain in the ass. But so he is done for now. Now we picked up that one item while we were here. At some point you should have seen a ladder. We're just gonna run around until we find that again. There it is. And like I said, you can, one of the easier ways to kill him, assuming you don't get blasted in the face trying to do it, is you climb up here and then you know, kind of go where he's at and get a plunging attack. But I'm not a giant fan of that approach, only because, as I mentioned, he can blast you while you're doing it. Be careful. I know they're just rats, but rats can stagger, and you're walking around on very skinny beams. Very easy to die up here unintentionally. Get this. Cerulean Seed Talisman, and then we can drop on down, and as soon as we're out of combat we can go ahead and warp. So from here we are basically done. We're gonna head on down. Oh, hang on, there's a rat on top of me. Is there? It's trying to drop down. I think it died. I think it tried to attack me and fell to its death. But we're gonna head on over to the Ansel River. Just tab your map and it's right on down there. Before that, I'm going to make a quick run and see if I can find where those handsies were, because I want to check on that before I record the next part. But y'all stay tuned. Heading down to the Ansel River in the next part, and I'll see you all then.